So, good day everyone. I am John Mark Martinez from BSCS 4B, and today we are going to discuss to you about the chapter 6, which is the emotional interaction. So aside from that, we will discuss the emotions and the user experience, expressive and emotional design, how the appearance of an interface can affect users, affective computing and emotional artificial intelligence, persuasive technologies and behavioral change, anthropomorphism and the pros and cons. Emotions and the user experience. HCI has traditionally been about designing efficient and effective system. Now, more about how to design interactive system that make people respond in certain ways. For example, to be happy, to be trusting, to learn something, or to be motivated. Emotional interaction is concerned with how we feel and react when interacting with the technologies. Affective computing is improving with better recognition software and machine learning algorithms. Emotional interaction. What makes us happy, sad, annoyed, anxious, frustrated, motivated, delirious, and so on. So, translating this into different aspect of the user experience. So, why people become emotionally attached to certain products. So, beauty products can trigger memories, a sense of nostalgia, and the feel-good factor which brands are also tapping into for marketing purposes. So, the emotions connected to beauty products often goes way beyond the look they deliver or the confidence boost they give us. So, can social robots can help reduce loneliness and improve well-being? A study has found that social robots can improve mental health and have the potential to reduce loneliness in older people. So, how to change human behavior through the use of emotive feedback. So, how do emotion affect behavior and behavior emotions? Examine how people express themselves and read each other. For example, understand the relationship between facial expression, body language, gesture, and tone of voice. When people are happy, they laugh and relax body posture. When they are angry, they screw up their faces. So, does being angry make you concentrate better or more distracted? When you are happy, do you take more risks such as spend more money or buy more? Argue Baumeister et al. 2007 says that argue the relationship is more complex than a single cause and effect model. Automatic versus conscious emotion. Emotion can be short-lived, for instance, a fit of anger, or complex and long-lasting. The example is jealousy. Emotion have been categorized as automatic or conscious. Automatic ones are rapid and dissipate quickly. Unconscious ones develop slowly and take a long time to go. So these are the model of emotional design of Ortoni et al. 2005. So in emotional design model, these are the three level. There are three level, which are the visceral level, the behavioral level, and reflective level. In visceral level, it make product look, feel, and sound good. In behavioral level, it ensure product usability, and reflective level is take into account the meaning and personal value of a product in a particular culture. Claims for from model. Our emotional state changes how we think. We frightened or angry. We focus narrowly and our bodies respond by tensing muscle and sweating, more likely to be less tolerant. When happy, we are less focused and our bodies relax. and we are more likely to overlook minor problems and be more creative. And in designing with the three levels in mind, the visceral, the behavioral, and the reflective design. So visceral design refers to making products uh, feel, and sound good, like I said earlier. And behavioral design is about use, and it equates with traditional values of usability. And reflective design is about considering the meaning and personal value of a product. So, analyzing a swatch watch design using the model. So, cultural images and graphical elements design at the reflective level, affordances of use at the behavioral level, and brilliant colors and wild design attract user attention at the visceral level. Expressive interfaces provide reassuring feedback that can be both informative and fun. It can also be intrusive, however, causing people to become annoyed and even angry. Color, icons, sounds, graphical elements, and animation are used to make the look and feel of an interface appealing, conveys on emotional state. In turn, this can affect the usability of an interface. People are prepared to put up with certain aspect of an interface if the end result is appearing and aesthetic.
Next is the appearance of an interface. Emotional icons were used in the 1980s to indicate rebooting or crash computer. An example of this is smiling apple face. Letter B. Nowadays, computers use more impersonal but aesthetically pleasing icons to indicate that the user needs to wait. And the example of this is beach ball. Next is the design of thermostats. Letter A. The Nest thermostat has a minimalist and aesthetically pleasing design. Example is round face and simple dial and large font and numbers. Letter B is it is very different from earlier thermostat design. Example is utilitarian and dull. Next is annoying interfaces. Microsoft pioneered friendly interfaces for technophobes. For example is At Home with Bob software. And 3D metaphors based on familiar places, for instance, living rooms. Agents in the guise of pets such as a bunny or dog were included to talk to the user. Made users feel more at ease and comfortable, but many people did not like the idea of Bob, so it never made it as a product. Next is frustrating interfaces, and it has many causes. First is when an application doesn't work properly or crashes. Second is when a system doesn't do what the user wants it to do. Third is when a user's expectations are not met. Fourth, when a system does not provide sufficient information to enable the user to know what to do. Fifth, when error messages pop up that are vague, obtuse, or condemning. And six is when the appearance of an interface is garish, noisy, gimmicky, or patronizing. 7. When a system requires users to carry out too many steps to perform a task, only to discover that a mistake was made earlier and that they need to start all over again. Next is error messages. The application word wonder has unexpectedly quit due to a type 2 error. Why not instead? The application has expectedly quit to poor coding in the operating system. Schneiderman's classic guidelines for error messages include avoid using terms like fatal, invalid, or bad. Audio warnings, avoid uppercase and long code numbers. Messages should be precise rather than vague. Provide context-sensitive help. Next is dilemma. Should computers say they're sorry? Reeves and Nas 1996 argue that computers should be made to apologize. Second, should emulate human etiquette. Third is, would users be as forgiving of computers saying they are sorry as people are of each other when saying they are sorry? Fourth, how sincere would they think the computer was being? For example, after a system crash, I am really sorry I crashed. I'll try not to do it again. Fifth, how else should computers communicate with users? Next, should voice assistants teach kids good manners? Many children talk to Alexa as if she was their friend. They also learn that it is not necessary to say please and thank you to her when asking questions. Is this lack of using etiquette a problem? Would it transfer over to real life situation? For example, demanding, auntie, get me my drink. Parents should still teach their kids good manners. Alexa can be configured to be polite as well. How much parental control should voice assistants be given? Would children find it weird or creepy that their Alexa, who is their friend, nags them to clean their teeth? Next is affective and computing and emotional AL. Affective computing is concerned with how to use computers to recognize and express emotional as humans do. Picard 1998. It involves designing ways for people to communicate their emotional state. It uses sensing technologies to measure GSR, facial expressions, gestures, and body movement. Explores how affect influences personal health. Emotional AL aims to automate the measurement of feelings and behavior using AL to interpret them from facial expressions and voice. The goal is to predict users' emotional and aspects of their behavior. For example of this, what is someone most likely to buy online when feeling sad, bored, or happy? Next is techniques used to first cameras for measuring facial expressions. Second, biosensors placed on fingers or palms to measure GSR. Third is effective expression in speech. For example, is intonation, pitch, and loudness. Fourth is body movement and gestures using accelerometers and motion capture system. Next is classification of emotions. 6 core expressions typically measured by sadness, disgust, fear, anger, contempt, and joy. Type of facial expression chosen by AL through detecting presence of, absence of, smiling, eye widening, brow raising, brow furrowing, raising a cheek, mouth opening, upper lip raising, and wrinkling of the nose. Next is, how is this emotional data used? First, if user screws up their faces when an ad pops up. Second, if user starts smiling. Third, website can adapt its ad, movie, storyline, or content to match user's emotional state. Fourth, if system used in a car, it might detect an angry driver and suggest they take a deep breath. Fifth is eye tracking, finger pulse, speech, and word phrases also analyze when tweeting or posting to Facebook.
Indirect emotional detection, also used more to infer or predict someone's behavior. For instance, determining a person's suitability for a job or how they will vote in an election. Do you think it is ethical that technology can read your emotions from your facial reactions or from your tweets? Persuasive technologies and behavioral change. Interactive computing systems designed to change people's attitude and behavior. FOG 2003. A diversity or techniques now used to change what they do or think. Pop-up ads, warning messages, reminders, prompts, personalized message, recommendation, or Amazon one-click, commonly referred as nudging. Nintendo Pocket Pikachu, developed to change bad habits and improve well-being, designed to motivate children to be more physical active on a regular basis. Owner of the digital pet that lives in a device is required to walk, run, or jump. The owner does not exercise, the virtual pet becomes angry and refuses to play anymore. How effective can interactive technologies that monitor, nag, or behave like humans keep them interested in looking after it and in doing so make themselves more fit? Thus, looking after a virtual change child's behavior, emotional attachment, happy Pokemon makes them feel good, sulking Pokemon makes them feel bad. Tracking devices, mobile apps designed to help people monitor and change their behavior, for instance, fitness, sleeping, or weight. Can compare with online leaderboards and charts to show how they have done a relation to their peers and friends. Also app can encourage reflection, which in turn increase well-being and happiness. Sustainable HCI. Focus on designing technology inventions to help people reduce their energy consumption. An effective technique is to provide homeowners with feedback on their consumption. Simple infographics and emoticons are often most powerful. Encourage people to reflect and see what they can change to reduce their energy consumption. Peer pressure and social norms are also powerful methods. The TD Street Project, large-scale visualization of the street electricity usage. Phishing scams, web used to deceive people into parting with personal details. For example, PayPal, eBay, and emails. Also, internet fraudsters to access their bank accounts and draw money from them. Many vulnerable people fall for it. The art of deception is centuries old, but in, internet allows more to trick people. Anthropomorphism, attributing human-like qualities or ina- inanimate object, for instance cars or computers. Well-known phenomenon in advertising, dancing butter, drinks, or breakfast cereals. Much exploited in human-computer interaction. Make user experience enjoyable and motivating. Make people feel to ease by reducing anxiety. Furnishing technologies with personalities can make them enjoyable to interact with. Which message you prefer? As a welcome message, number 1. Hello Chris, nice to see you again. Welcome back. Now, what were doing last time? Oh yes, exercise 5. Let's start again. Number 2. User 24 comments exercise 5. Which do you prefer? Feedback when user gets something wrong. Number 1. Now Chris, that's not right. You can do better than that. Try again. Number 2. Incorrect. Try again. Is there a difference as to what you prefer depending on the type of message? Why? Evidence to support Anthropomorphism. Reeves and Nass, 1996, found that computers that flatters and praise users in educational software programs result in positive impact on users. Your question makes an important and useful distinction. Great job. Students were more willing to continue with the exercise with this kind of feedback. Robot-like or cuddly? Which do you prefer? A. Aibo. B. Haptic creature. It is okay to senior to develop an emotional attachment with the robot Zora. Summary. Emotional aspects or interaction designs are concerned with how facilitate certain state, for example, pleasure, or avoid reaction for instant frustrations. Well-designed interfaces can elicit good feelings in people. Expressive interfaces can provide reassuring feedback to user. Badly designed interfaces make people frustrated, annoyed, or angry. Emotional IA and affective computer use IA and sensor technology for detecting people's emotions by analyzing their facial expressions and conversations. Emotional technologies can be designed to persuade people to change their behavior. Increasingly, robots are used as companions in the home. That's our report, and thank you guys for listening.